Welcome to Charts Today. It is Friday, the 22nd of May. It's a glorious Friday heading into the bank holiday weekend here in the UK. But markets are less fair weather, and let's have a look at what's going on. We've had numbers out this morning for UK government borrowing for April, and they were 25%. It was 25% higher than April a year ago, yet the market is falling. And this just highlights how market expectation can be a key thing. And we see this 5.7 line on the 30-year gilt. We still have the upside target, but interesting, then when we go to the 10-year gilt, we only have one upside target. There was a second upside target like the 30-year, but that has been negated and removed from the chart. And so interestingly, we are seeing a real pullback. That 5.2% was a level, and we are seeing and we're back below 5% now, giving some respite for the UK government. But the bond markets globally are still an issue. If we look at Japan, we're sitting at 2.8% there. Really quite key that we are hitting that 2.8% level. And if we look at even countries like Germany, we have had a big pullback here as well, but the upside targets are still in place. So it is really key that we are seeing that in the market. Now, looking at the dollar, the key thing here is that the dollar index is really in the sideways range. And the key aspect here is that we're just waiting for that break. The Japanese yen against the dollar still rising a little bit. And inevitably the Japanese government will intervene again at 160, but that is going to be a pressure for them, certainly. And looking at sterling this morning, even that's against the euro, we're in that big flat range. We're looking against the dollar. We are waiting to see which way we break. We're really in a sideways range. So currencies generally are ranging at the moment, and that's a key factor as well. Looking at Bitcoin, we are seeing here that pullback on the daily. We're still above the cloud, having recovered that downside target largely discounted. But if we look at the 60-minute chart, we're waiting to see if we can activate this upside target. So that's really quite key there. Markets, we're seeing the futures in the US up again. Looks like we're going to try and make a new high on the S&P future. And the Nasdaq, the actual Nasdaq itself, you remember we talked about the weekly doji on the chart. Well, the Nasdaq seems to be recovering, and again we're waiting to see if that target will turn orange. If we go to the 60-minute chart, gives us a little bit of a heads up. Watch today, watch those shorter term charts. That's going to be quite key. The Dow this is the future for the Dow, still struggling but just nudging new highs, so that's also quite key. And we're seeing markets globally have been relatively strong. Japan up 1.2%, pushing towards a new high there despite all the issues in Japan. The Aussie market had a pretty bad week, but we're seeing a floor there. 8,500 for the ASX 200 has been a key level, and we're holding that. And if we look at the 60-minute chart, you can see that level being tested. The downside targets still do hang over us though, and that's going to be one to watch. The Sensex in India, that has been a poor performer, and we are still seeing weakness there as well. Now looking at gold, these precious metal charts after the run that we had at the start of the year, still looking pretty bearish, and silver also looking bearish as well. And so that's really quite key there that we are seeing those downside targets. Looking at the tech majors, we had mostly up. We had Apple up 1%, Amazon up 1.3%. We are seeing really quite big moves here, and again Amazon up 1.3%. Big upside target yet to be activated for Amazon, so that's going to be quite key as well. Microsoft is still a poor performer, and really we are waiting to see if we can activate this upside target there. And Nvidia gave up 1.7%. So having made that new high and activated the target, we are just key is holding that 225 level. Looking at the Dow 30, we had IBM up 12% overnight. So that's the chart of IBM. That's the 12% move. It's still bearish, even though that's a big move. Cisco, on the other hand, we've seen really big moves here and holding on to that gain. So really quite key there. Walmart down 7%, having been a star performer. Last night gave up some. Just interesting that they hit that 135 resistance at $135, pushing the price below the cloud at a lagging line just slightly below the cloud. That's where you want to go to the 60-minute chart just to see, and we can see that fall out of bed. We did have a downside target given before then, and that's so there was a heads up. If you were awake or in trading in the US, you would have seen that if you were trading it actively. Looking at the UK market this morning, right move as the worst performer. So we're seeing really that's a continuation of trend. And then if we go the other way, looking at BT, they're the best performer this morning, up 3%. Interestingly, that chart has got mixed targets, but it is still above the cloud, and we are hitting new highs. All in all, stocks are looking better in the UK this morning. We've got Polar. That chart is looking amazing, nudging new highs. Remember, new highs are good. That's what we want to see. So just got to find the stocks that are making new highs and they're above their trends, and you've got good targets. That's it for today. Have a great weekend. It's a 3-day weekend. I will be back on Tuesday. Until then, bye for now.